Hey, it's me, Uwe Tomi, the guys with the five eyes that you see. And today, after all the hoopla has settled, we're going to be talking about the Gorilla Girl Glue Girl. Oh my god, that is literally a tongue twister. Gorilla Glue Girl. Say that shit 10 times fast. I bet only 2% of y'all can do it, and you probably got Tourette's. Um, we're going to be speaking on what she symbolizes about the black community for our women. And I'm going to be speaking on how black women are going to have to let these Eurocentric, uh, what I'm saying, like the idea, this Eurocentric image of an ideal woman in their hair, you're going to have to let go of that because at this point it's just basic stupidity. I'm just being honest. Okay. Now, I'll preface this though. You can do your hair however you want. And if you want to have a straight hair as a style, I do understand that to a degree because, it is different. Probably want to see yourself like, what would I look like straight hair? You know, like even some guys go for the straight hair thing. But see, the thing is, when you make that your image though, it's like it's different than if you just put a weave or a wig on, or you straighten your hair for maybe a few days, month, or whatever, however, for a short amount of time. When you try to transition into making that your hair, then there's an issue uh, with that, in my opinion, because that's just naturally not how your hair is going to have some adverse effects. I know with my wife, her hair, she had made her hair like that, but I got to the point where affording to have that kind of hairstyle was pretty expensive, and now her hair was damaged though. So she really wasn't trying to pay for the upkeep, but at the same time, if she just let us stay like that, it was going to go look worse and worse. She had one option: do the big chop. And the saddest part about that is she had a lot of hair before, and so she gave it up for nothing. Honestly, she gave up them, like she had like a nice fro, was able to tie it back, do all kinds of styles, and she gave that up because she was she glamorized the Eurocentric uh, uh, symbol of beauty for women. So if you don't know who the Gorilla Girl is, Gorilla, I can't do this. Fuck the Gorilla Glue person is. This is her. Well, she basically put Gorilla Glue in her head, trying to lay down her hair to have that Black China look. Oh, here we go.
It off with the little got to be glue spray, just to keep it in place. Well, I didn't have any more got to be glue spray, so I used this Gorilla Glue spray. Bad, bad, bad idea. Y'all, look, my hair, it don't move. You hear what I'm telling you? It don't move. I've washed my hair 15 times, and it don't move. Stiff wear. Woo. My hair. So I'm gonna tell y'all like this: if you ever run out of got to be glue spray, don't ever use this.
Okay, and funny, I love how she says that because nobody on this fucking planet. Well, there are people, but most women aren't that dumb. Like, who thinks of this shit? Who really does think of that shit? Like, honestly, like, I didn't even know what the baby glue spray, whatever she's talking about, existed. I'm pretty sure a lot of women do, but Gorilla Glue, like, even most kids are gonna be like, oh, don't you put that like on the end of your couch when the arm breaks or some shit like that? Even they know better, man.
Unless you want your hair to be like that.
And this man, she's really humiliating herself even more, just showing how like that doesn't work.
Beef that I guess I'm gonna have to live. Yeah. You would do.
Okay, I don't know what the rest of that is, but that's basically just the whole video. I had seen somewhere else someone describing the video. I did see where it apparently said that she had her hair like that for a month. And see, that's when we gotta get to these stories and like to get to the gist of like who we're really looking at. Because black women, honestly, when you guys try to go after the Eurocentric ideal of beauty, this is what you end up looking like. This chick looks crazy. I've learned that she's 40 years old and she did this, so she's probably made a lot of bad decisions in her life. I wouldn't be surprised if she has some children with a dude who wasn't sticking around. Um, Long ass nails, long ass eyelashes, got the contacts in. You can tell this girl she wanted to be like a Tokyo Tony and everything, and she paid the price for her stupidity. You know, I can't really, and she eventually got some surgery, fortunately by a black surgeon, and she's really lucky that she lives in this era of like social media because like I can pretty much tell if she lived in another era where she wouldn't if she wasn't trying to come out of pocket or go into debt for surgery, she would have kept that shit in. She already told you she kept it in for a month. And you want to know why? Because at first it probably scared her. But then she was like, but damn, just look how my shit laid down. And she probably just, she knew she'd take some pictures or something or go outside. She get a little clout for that. Have people like commenting on her thing like, oh my god, girl, how your shit lay down like that? Yada yada. She probably was getting some because why would you have that in for a month? After the first day, you should be already trying to figure out what the hell you about to do. She's talking about I wash my hair like 15 times and stuff. Bitch, if your hair is glued to your scalp like that, you should instinctively know, you know what, this ain't gonna fucking work. Like she's not intelligent. She's not an intelligent woman. I'm glad she's safe. I'm glad nothing serious like ended up happening to her and she's alive and healthy. But at the same time, with the kind of mindset she has, God knows what else she's gonna fucking do to herself next. It's just cause she wanted to look like a white woman so bad. Not even white, because that kind of ironically that kind of style you really don't even see. It's like quasi black white, because you don't really see a lot of white women having their trying to have their hair laid down like that and stuff, and doing the whole edges thing, because I guess by the nature of how edges work with black women, I guess mostly they can do it, but it's still Euro or Asian centric. I'd like to say that because we don't speak about that enough. We love to say it's Eurocentric when most of the time I'd also consider it to be Asian centric as well. Because I mean that's where we get a lot of the hair from, girls in India and China and stuff. We don't even get so it's more of like a Eurasian beauty standard. It goes from Europe to Asia and stuff. Now see, black women, what you gotta learn from this woman is you have to accept the kind of hair that you have for the long term. All right, like I said at the beginning of the video, you can straighten it and do things with it, but you have to understand the physical nature of your hair. You have to have an understanding of the physical reality of how you wear your hair. Okay, your hair, you're born with it a certain way and it develops in a certain way. Okay, so you have to accept that. At this point in time, if you are conforming to a Euro Asia centric beauty standard of your hair, that's idiocracy. You're just playing, I'm sorry, but you're acting stupid. And see, the thing about it is, if you look at it from a historical standpoint, way back, I would say, after slavery, of course, people had no choice to wear their hair and stuff. Black people had to get their money up and stuff, and I'm pretty sure there wasn't too many products out there unless people were just naturally doing things to their hair, like with egg yolk and things like that. For the most part, natural. Then, as we get through the first half, I would say the first half of the 1920s. I mean, not 1920s, the 20th century, right? We have, when it comes to entertainment, right? Because this is where you get these standards from like posters and movies and radio and stuff. Like the radio comes along, the television comes along, the movies catch steam and they come along, TV shows. So in this world of entertainment, now white people are displaying their what they think is beautiful to themselves. You have models, you have movie starlets and things like that. You've got women for like, well, I guess they count as model when it comes to advertising and things and such. And when black people started getting into that industry, they had to conform. That's why you see like in the 30s, 40s, even 20s, you know, like black men and black like mostly people were recognized like a lot of the black men for having their hair slicked back. And one thing I do notice about a lot of the actresses and the singers back then is, for the most part, they have straight hair of some kind of form and whatnot. It's really, and it was a conformist thing because white people just had so much social power. They had all the social power for the most part back then. And if you were a black person of any social credence that wasn't conforming to that, uh, then basically you probably weren't going to get paid. Now, we see after the 50s into the 60s, 70s, mostly after the 60s, because I think it permeated into the 60s. You get it? Permeated. In the 70s, with the black rise of the Black Panther Party and a whole lot of more black awareness during a time of American turmoil, you start to see people accept afros more. You know, no one really cares if it's nappy or not. Because, I mean, if you think about it, the concept of an afro is fucking awesome. Like you're the only people, you're the only kind of people on this planet with those genes where your hair grows up. And I loved how someone described it where it was like your hair grows towards the sun. You know, if you want to look at it from a spiritual standpoint, it's like a slightly divine kind of thing. Like all these people amongst the earth that worship the sun, but your hair grows towards it, and theirs don't. That's a powerful thing. And people really didn't care about that. But when you look into from what I can tell, more noticeably like 90s, early 2000s, this obsession with weave like started to happen. And for those of you guys, I mean, pretty much everyone kind of knows what weave is, but I just want to look bad weave on here on Google Images, and let's see what we can get. And yeah, so basically, I still don't completely understand what a weave is. I guess it's just fake hair you put on yourself. But weave just naturally looks ridiculous on most black women because it's just so unnatural, and the color. Like I get it, you do it for fun, but this shouldn't be a long term thing for you because it's just weird looking. This is probably what you should look like, but a lot of these things women do to their hair, like sew-ins and the weaves and the chemicals, it can really damage your hair. And I've heard plenty of girls talk about that because and I think this chick, I actually think this chick went and got her hair done again after like cutting her shit off because she's so addicted to that. And if we look here, these are just this is just an idea of what you're dealing with when it comes to these chemicals in your hair. So it says, Robin Dodson researches environmental impacts on women's health. She says she found women of color, black, have higher levels of chemicals that alter hormones in their body than any other demographic. It is really important when they're thinking about various diseases that may be controlled by the hormone system, like early puberty, infertility, also some cancers like breast cancer. We wanted to ask the question of where the sources of the chemicals are. And she tested 18 hair products uniquely used by women of color: relaxers, frizz controls, and hot oil treatments. And you gotta also think about that too. Those names don't really. A relaxer it sounds like it's like something that's not dangerous, but like frizz control, hot oil treatments, something about that just sounds aggressive. She found more than 40 hormone disrupting chemicals. She said they weren't listed on the majority of the product labels, and the FDA doesn't check before they hit shelves. You want to know why? Because these go to black women, and they can give two rats asses. And personally, they probably find it funny. The vast majority of the chemicals that are used in products out there have never been tested comprehensively for health effects. And they have like sodium hydroxide, like a popular chemical hair straightener, is the main ingredient in relaxers. and she pours sodium hydroxide on aluminum and a piece of meat representing human scalp and bones. The aluminum changed form and the meat disintegrated. So listen, black women, a lot of you guys who do relaxers and that straighteners and all that, stop doing that shit. Stop it. Okay, stop doing it. If you're not doing it just for a little bit, stop trying to make that. Because the funny thing is, they will all tell you, yeah, it hurts and my hair itches and all that. I swear to God, they all say that because it happens, right? When you do it so much, and y'all still do it. And the craziest thing to me is black men have shown time and time again. First of all, for the most part, all other men are not gonna like you, but us. And for the second part, we generally don't care as long as you're pretty to us, right? If you're not pretty to us in your face or your body, your hair really doesn't mean too much. It doesn't. It doesn't. And everyone knows niggas don't care how your hair looks. You could be bald. You can have a stubble. You can have a temp fade. It does not matter. We will take that. Man, Isaiah Rashad, he even says in his songs, like, I can't, maybe like once or twice, but he's like, my bald headed babe. He don't care. We don't care, because if you got a nice face and body, that's all we need. All right. And everyone knows this. So clearly, I don't think for the most part, black women make their hair, they put the weaves in and the straighteners and stuff and the sews. I know for the most part, they're not doing that for black men, because inherently they know niggas don't give a fuck either way. Okay. I know I don't. My girl, her hair is short now. I don't care. You know? And so they're probably, I'd have to assume most black women do it for most black women to show off and be like, look at this. And then the other one has to show off too. And they also do it to the appeal of white society. Why? Because by women's nature, they need to fit in. It's part of their survival mechanisms. And whoever is on top of the societal food chain that runs all the trends, they are going to conform to that. And they conform to that a lot. The thing that like kind of, what I don't understand, and this is where like the whole blonde wig weave thing, black women are obsessed with that shit. I don't know. I don't understand that. Let's see. Let's look up colorful weave to give some viewers an idea of. Well, these aren't bad. These look good. I guess typing in colorful weave is like you're not gonna find nothing that looks crazy. Still bad, colorful. Okay. Well, imagine some of this stuff, like Beyonce got on, like this color, like imagine that, but imagine it in the worst way possible, where it looks like yarn or some shit on a stick, something like this. I see women coming to work looking like this a lot, and not quite like this, but sometimes like the texture though. I've seen women come into my workplace and they'll have their hair yellow, they'll have their hair red, and it doesn't look good. Objectively, it just does not look good. I don't know what they find good about it, and I really don't care how they could feel about it. Though stuff like this, it just makes you ask, like, what are you really thinking about? That just doesn't look good. Objectively, it doesn't, because it's just so irrational, And then I also want to get to the second half of this video, is the Gorilla Glue Saga, Laid Edges and a Trauma of Black Beauty Standards. So the person that wrote this is, by Nicole Phillip and Jermel Pregion or whatever. And they're essentially just talking about, kind of like how black women have to keep up with these Euro-Asian centric beauty standards. And just listen to this shit right here. When attorney turned physician Alan Nichols learned why Gorilla Glue was trending on social media, it evoked a sense of familiarity. I'm not about to call this girl stupid when my normal Sunday routine revolved around sitting in a kitchen doorway with my granny applied grease on my edges and ran an iron comb through my hair after heating on the stove. Listen, woman, she's stupid. See, and this is why this woman will probably do something like this again. And this is why most women just really can't level up the way they want to, because of the excuses they make. Your grandmother, when she did that, yes, it had negative health effects on your skin, but it's not Gorilla Glue. It's not. It's at least a natural process. This woman put Gorilla Glue on her hair. That's idiotic. That's stupid. That set her mentions on fire. I mean, come on, man. From relaxers to braids and even weave sew-ins, pains is really relatively common when styling black hair. And yeah, I do get it. It's relatively common, but at least with braids, it's not going to destroy and wreck your shit. I know we are willing to have a headache for a day to get our hair done right. Nicole said while thinking back on her first sewing. My friends told me you need to take Advil ibuprofen beforehand, especially because you're tenderheaded and your hair is still probably going to hurt after. Well, and you know, and again, a stupid black women. You gotta understand this shit's stupid. What are you going through this pain for? No one really cares afterwards because look here. It says even in online dating, the black community faces racial discrimination. No, it isn't. Black women are rated less attractive than women of other races. That's not discrimination. That's called having preference. If you're on an app where you have to present yourself to men and they have the free will to decide whether or not they like you. If they don't like you, it's not discrimination. They just don't like you. And that's the thing I have to reiterate to black women. Black men are going to they're going to be down for you because they say this, but they fail to mention, you know, because think about it. They're talking about black women and you want to talk about how everyone else views them. But you don't want to talk about how black women, black men view them favorably the most because again, they're pushing this idea. They're contradicting themselves with that statement. And really with that statement to me and the other statement about like she's not about to call her stupid, it kind of just nullifies the rest of this whole article. And from childhood, black people are taught they had to be twice as good at half of what they have. Yeah, I understand that. Um, the black community just wants to say you must never go outside looking raggedy. Yes, I guess to go with that. But let's look here. Some in the black community have offered a complete rebuke of Eurocentric beauty standards through moments like Black is Beautiful. And others attempt to combat the issue converted to hair. That's why black hair care is $1 billion industry. And yeah, I get that. So in Brown's mind, she did what she had to do. See, and they just again, black women, you also have to just hold some accountability for your actions and your fellow women's actions. You guys complain about the shit you complain about because you do it to yourselves. Whether it comes to men, whether it comes to work, kids, the government, you do it to yourselves. The issue with many women in this country is that they want the perfect life. They want a life with no consequences. They want a life with no challenges. You know, and at the same time, they want to be in control of that life. That's why they'll do things like get pregnant by a dude who they didn't vet at all. They didn't wait for it. They didn't make nothing. They gave the dude really no kind of challenges. They get pregnant, he leaves. They expect him to stay. You know, for some reason they expect him to stay and take care of the kid. And when he doesn't, then they blame everybody else. They blame all men. And it's like, I know you had sex with like 50 dudes, but that's not like a couple million. You know what I'm saying? If you don't hold yourselves accountable, because see, that's why men get things done. That's why men ultimately are better leaders. Because when we fail, people get on our ass. You know, I remember I wanted to play basketball. My dad was trying to help me. And at some point, I was playing so bad that he just snapped on me. And of course, he probably didn't need to snap on me that hard. It would have been better if he just gave me a solid talking to, like, listen, man, if you keep playing like this, you ain't going to get anywhere, you know. But ever since then, I've been a better basketball player. It don't matter if if I had tried, if I had truly had my heart in it, I probably could have made it to some college somewhere. If I truly had my heart in it. And to me, that's how good I got. Because after my dad got on my ass, man, like, it just kind of it clicked a little bit. You know, I still didn't get taught everything like I needed to know, aka dribbling, but it lit a fire in me, you know. And with women, you guys are so like you guys have to stop being afraid to fail. You guys have to stop being afraid to own up to your mistakes and what that comes with. You got stop being afraid of these consequences because that's how life is. You have to go out there, and if you mess up, you messed up. You can't take that back. You know, what you did, it had already happened. And you just got to stand up for that. But if you guys like don't hold each other accountable, if you guys keep letting each other off the hook, then you're basically pushing your sisters towards what this sister did. You guys have to grow past the mistakes of your aunts, grandmas, moms, and all that. Because if you don't, we're gonna keep getting our hair glued. And again, let's look at her. Look at her. Really look at her. Just take a look. This is the result of a lack of accountability. She objectively looks crazy. And people wonder, and see, this is the thing why most other men also don't like like black women, because we love to say the black woman is the most beautiful woman on earth, and they got curves and all that. And it's funny because it's popular now to have big lips and big hips and ass and the twerk and stuff, right? But you gotta really think of that for a second. What a lot of women are doing is they're taking the sexiest aspect of black women, right, when it comes to other parts of their body, for the most part. But you don't see them trying to have their hair curled up and try to make it like a Jufro. When it comes to the lashes and everything like that, for me personally, I don't see a lot of white girls doing the heavy lash thing unless they're like, I just don't see it a lot. Okay, like white girls, Asian girls, they may do it like occasionally when it comes to like a gala or a ball, or when they at the strip club stripping, something like that. But for the most part, they be kind of on chill with that. With black women, I see a lot of black women come in to my job every day with they lashes did to the nine and stuff. I'm like, you're working at a warehouse. Well, are you sure you even want to? Like, I'd be more afraid of my shit getting caught somewhere and yanked off my eyeball, and ripping my shit. Like, I don't even. But for some weird reason, a lot of black women think this is the way to look. And think about it, she is coming online to discuss a big medical issue she had, looking like this. Like, she's trying to. It's her, the way her eyes look is taking the focus off the issue of her head. Man, that forehead huge. It's taking the issue off of this and bringing it to this. She's a very. I don't think she's a mentally well individual. She isn't, and she talks like she's a child. Again, I heard she's 40. Wouldn't be surprised if she has some kids. So, to get to the gist and the end of the video, I think a lot of black women, there's really no excuse to holding up this Euro Asian centric ideal of a beauty standard. There's really no point, because these days, with the way we set trends, more women take beauty concepts from you guys. But see, the thing is, they're taking all the things that make you beautiful and sexy, they're taking that and they're applying it for themselves, and essentially they're basically making themselves they're kind of trying to prototype themselves, trying to be the ultimate form, like like a white woman that can twerk, her ass jiggles and shake and stuff. Because in the white community, that's why a lot of like that's why other guys like black women. It's because of the fact, because the way most of black women look and shape, they're not like other women. Because you think like Asian women, Italian women, white women, they may have their subtle differences, but for the most part, got the same kind of hairstyle for the most part, hair type. Got the same kind of skin color for the most part. Even the same, I wouldn't say places, but like the same kind of skin color. They generally look alike in a lot of aspects. But with black brown women, whatever, physically a lot of them are more different, even in their voices and stuff. So there's an exoticness of that to other groups of men. But when their women start to display these same factors, now it's a double whammy, because they're already more attracted to their women, but now they have that exotical, they have that that exotical feel and look to them that they took from you. So now they're doubling down on that. Because imagine you go to a sorority house and there's a sorority girl who, she doesn't have quite of a big butt. She has a normal white girl butt, but she knows how to twerk that shit. Man, for those white guys, it's like, wow, it's almost like she does have a big butt, like she's a black girl and stuff, So, if anything, I guess it would make them, like, black women less attractive if the white women are doing what they're doing, But again, I have to say, it's kind of stupid now to hold up that beauty standard. There's no reason to, because You already know your own men don't care really too much how you look. We're okay with you if you are quote unquote natural and whatever. And to be honest, I think most black men kind of prefer that because if you think about how black men do our hair, I mean, we don't really do weaves and sew-ins and stuff like that. Well, like what I'm doing, we do like what the white women do at the most. We'll do extensions and stuff like because I got like my twists. I have my twist in and stuff, but I wanted to just have a look where my hair was longer to the point because I'm trying to see how I would look with it to like the degree length that I ideally would like to have. So me and my girl, we just went, got some braiding hair, put that in, easy as pie. But why not do it like that? Why not do the hairstyles that are natural to how you look, which for the most part comes with like braiding and dreading and stuff like that. That looks much better objectively or subjectively. I don't know which word to use for myself. I know from my personal opinion that looks much better than straight hair and blonde weaves and stuff like that because of how natural it looks. It literally like like you can't even, a lot of times niggas wouldn't even really be able to tell it's fake. I wouldn't be able to tell it's fake and stuff. My girl, she had a story where her friend had one of them sewing things or whatever, and it was kind of peeling up. And the white guy she was with, his family thought something was wrong with her scalp. They thought her scalp was lifting up or something. Like that's how ridiculous that shit is. Stop keeping up with it, because you're not keeping up with the men because we don't care. You're keeping up with each other because you're trying to flex, and then you're trying to low key get some white validation. That shit hurts you. Black women, we not black. Hold on a second. The black community as a whole, we've got to stop hurting ourselves just to uphold these standards. That honestly, the Eurocentric beauty standard, they don't even care. They truly do not care about how y'all look with that because they don't want y'all anyway. Why are you trying to appease people that don't care for y'all? There's no point. You basically killing yourself for no reason because you're that desperate to fit in with them instead of fitting in with yourselves and us. Because black men, black women, we are the only ones that are going to hold each other down. And personally, again, like I said, you can do what you want, but I would like to campaign for us to just stop with the weaves and stuff. Because this is not even an industry where, at least with the natural hair care industry, right, there are a lot of brands owned by black people. So if you participate with those brands, and buy those products, you're helping the black community. With these weaves and all these hair places, right? We support other people and with billions and billions of dollars, and it's not right. We got to stop doing that. At the very least, we could buy our fake hair from other black people or black owned companies. I don't know. But black women, stop killing yourselves over some shit that no one cares about. Because in the end, no one cares about this stuff. Do you really want to end up looking like this woman at 40? Yeah, she's viral for a bit. She might get some talk show spots, might get some interviews, but she'll forever be known as a humiliated person. And with the way social media is these days, more people might end up recognizing her for what she's done in the future versus past social media starlets. And she'll just be forever known for humiliating herself and embarrassing herself. And I feel like this is like the highest form of an example of the most high making an example out of a woman. If you adhere to these kind of false negative like standards, if you adhere to something that does not come naturally to you, this is what you become. You don't want to be this. You're smarter than that. I know you're smarter than that, and you're more beautiful than that too. So, just think about what you're doing before you do it. Because for the most part, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that serious. And that's about it. I love y'all black women. I do. But stop with this stupid shit, please.